Clive Collins.
And I'm David Reed.
And you're watching
From the bench.
Nearly Beyond the Bench there, David.
Oh, we were just talking about it, weren't we?
Yeah, we actually were. Well, it's good to be back, everyone. Obviously, I haven't been on the channel for a little while. David, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you,
Did you have
mate?
a good Christmas?
Yeah, it's good. Got a lot of things we needed. What about you?
Yeah, that's good. I had a pretty good Christmas as well. Kept myself fit and still playing football. And other than watching Norwich, I guess, over Christmas, I mean, that's probably the only bad part. And I think that's what we're going to talk about today. Lincoln and Norwich, obviously, they're both in a similar sort of situation. Ours probably a little bit worse than yours.
Oh, no, you're not managed by Michael Appleton.
This is true, but yeah, I think Norwich are in a state of turmoil at the minute. Is a simple way to put it. And I think that yes, the 5-0 at Arsenal was bad, but in my opinion, I think the Palace game was perhaps even worse. David, what do you think? Why has it gone so wrong for Norwich this season?
Well, you can see, like, nearly every the last few seasons you've been in the Premier League, you've always had injuries now, and you haven't got the squad depth to cope with it. When you look at Krul goes out, and you've got Gunn in goal, and even though you brought him in, it hasn't filled the gaps. And when you look at your defenders, you're chopping and changing defenders now and again, trying to find a combination, and none of the defenders are getting a run of games together. And
Norwich haven't had a set squad at all this season.
No.
Not at one point this season have we had a set of 4 or 5 games where it's been the same starting 11, like cemented starting 11. We haven't had that this season, and that's I think is a big factor. Like no players have really had had the time to be able to sort of cement themselves into the lineup, because the lineup has been changing every single week. Injuries, COVID. I think you look at November and it started to look really promising. Norwich moved up a couple of spaces. I'm pretty sure we managed to move up to 18th at one point, and November was a month that looked really promising for Norwich. We got the 2 wins, didn't we? And I think it was 3 draws we got, and things were starting to click. And then Matthias, Norman, Rashica, we were starting to see the best out of both of them too. And then they both get injured, and that's just Norwich's luck, unfortunately, isn't it? And I think, obviously, with all the COVID case out, yes, the team against Palace looked odd, and it sort of looked like maybe a B/C team, and the only bright spark in that game was maybe Przemysław Pacheta. I think I'm spelling that right, or saying that right. I'm sure the Polish fans will correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, you got home last time, didn't you? Fine, mate.
Yeah, that's true. But I think it just, Norwich haven't had a moment in the season where it's been like, other than November, where it's been like, oh, we've got this lineup, this team. Everyone sort of knows what the lineup's going to be before it's picked. Whereas now, at the minute, it's like, I don't know who Dean Smith's going to pick. I don't know what's going to happen. Rashica's back in training today, which is a positive. You have to look at the minor positives when you're a Norwich fan, but that is a positive, and hopefully he'll be back soon. And Norman's starting his own personal training on his own at the training ground, so hopefully he'll be back in team training soon. I know they said he'll be out for the foreseeable future, but it seems like he's looking to speed that up, so it'll be interesting to see how long he's out for. And I think the club are just in a state of turmoil at the moment. The fans don't seem like they're behind the team. You look at the chants against Billy Gilmore, Josh Sargent, all the other players against Palace, and the Palace fans actually said we were some of the funniest away fans they've ever had, and we were 3-0 down. And I think that tells you what you need to know, really. Like, there's just no belief at the club anymore.
I think another thing, when they boo with players, they know they expect better out of it. When you pay how much money you pay, you expect a certain standard. When you look at Lincoln now, we're losing a lot of fans because a certain standard of football's not there. And when you look at teams, if you don't deliver, they're going to boo you, because they expect when they go to Premier League, they expect some fight. Even though you're 3-0 down, they expect you to still be professional and go out for the rest of that 20, 30 minutes, how long you're left of the game, and give your all, dramatically putting tackles in. It's just doing simple things. And if you're not doing something, if you're just walking around or making silly tackles, there's no point. People are going to boo you if you're not giving anything back. What do you expect from the fans? Yeah, when you pay your money, you don't expect to go there, 3-0. It's not, you're not expecting to lose 3-0 to Palace, are you? You're not expecting all the players to look like bloody snails. You've got to expect they're going to give something. They're going to expect to believe in themselves. If they don't believe in themselves, you can't believe in the players. The fans can't believe in them either.
The thing is, the fans have nothing to believe in. You're right in saying, like, everyone seems to just, against Palace, it was so sluggish. Like I said, the only real attempted player, and the only player that looked like they were playing for the badge in that game was probably Przemysław Pacheta. He was tracking back, he was running at players. He's the only player at the minute that seems like he's got any form of confidence to take on someone. You've got players like, who am I thinking of? Like Billy Gilmore and players like these are players. They're good enough to take on players. You've got our fullbacks. They're good enough to get past some of these Premier League players. They are good enough. Placheta, maybe slightly less capable, but he's the only one doing it. Even Sargent, when he came on, just didn't really look like he could be asked. I thought Jonathan Rowe, the youngster, when he came on, he looked quite promising. So do Norwich go back to what they did a few seasons ago, and do they pull through some youth like what they did with Max Aarons, Todd Cantwell, Ben Godfrey, Jamal Lewis? Do they now do that again? Do you pull through? I mean, Dickerson Peters has just gone out on loan. Do you pull through Jonathan Rowe, Abu Kamara, Ballymumba next season? Do you bring Sam McCallum back? Do you now try and run through another set of youth players?
Well, it's the question. Like, you've got to think work in the budget as well, and of course, with the youngsters, they need leaders around them as well. And currently, your squad hasn't got any leaders to show the ropes. When you look at Pookie, he's not the kind of striker that people look up to, really.
He's not going to shout at anyone.
No, he's not, and he's not going to lead. Someone say, "I can score headers. I can do this in the game." He's not that kind of striker.
I think you got. I think Grant Hanley's a good leader. I think he certainly shows his dominance sometimes in the changing room. I think Kenny McLean's another player, or most of the Scottish lads in the squad. I think they're all lads that will really lay into players. Like come on, get on with it. Like,
but they can't show him like Hanley can show him a certain style of defending because he's a big defender. He can't show him for some of the smaller defenders what has been 1v1.
Yeah, I mean he's good enough as it is, to be honest.
But it's still got a lot of room to improve. Putting around better defenders.
Yeah. I think like when you say Norwich don't have leaders, I think there's leaders in there.
I mean they have got leaders, but I mean like players. When you look at West Ham, when you look at Declan Rice, he has Mark Noble next to him, who's a like-to-like player. When you look at Man City with the players they've got, Foden, with the players he had David Silva around him, they're the kind of players who can show him what to do.
Yeah, but I think this is why Billy Gilmore was so good in November as well. Because I think when Billy Gilmore has Matthias Norman next to him, who I think you can agree, Matthias Norman's a leader. He's a big player. He's got a big voice on him, and he's definitely probably one of the biggest characters at the club at the minute. I think when Billy Gilmore's got him next to him, he's phenomenal. And I think when Billy Gilmore is sitting in that CDM role on his own, and he's got Kenny in front of him, and yes, Kenny's a leader, but when you haven't got someone next to you, I think when he's got a big player like Matthias Norman next to him, I think he seems to perform a lot better, and I just hope Norman's going to come back real soon because we definitely need him.
Yeah, it's a surprise like Norwich. Like I said to you at the start, we did a transfer video, we talked about Norwich. Like I said, your squad depth is just not there, and you've got a lot of players there, but who just aren't for relegation fight players. They're for good players, good technically for the odd game now and again, but not for a run of games. Because when you lose Norman, who have you got there to replace him? Who can do a job? Who can score the goals? Who can actually take chances? When you see a shooter from outside of the box, you don't see players doing that. And it's forcing Gilmore deeper. It does. You're forcing other players. You're forcing the team deeper. When the team goes deeper, that means Pookie and the second players have got to drop deeper. And the problem, when you keep going further back, it's going to take a lot more to get up the pitch. And that's where you've dug yourself a hole down, where everyone's sitting behind the ball. When you got.
Do you think Norwich now comes to the point where they have to accept the fate that without these players in, they're not good enough? And Norwich have always had a thing where they've tried to play the opposition's football against them. Against Manchester City, try and play possession football. It's not going to work. It just isn't going to work. I remember Norwich City at home against Man City. We beat them 3-2. And that was one of the best tactical performances I've ever seen from a Norwich manager ever. We let Man City have the ball. We let them have the ball down the wings. Norwich played to the edge of the 18-yard box. That was it. That was the width that Norwich played. They let them have the ball in the wing, and when Man City have to cross, they don't score goals. They scored from a cross in that game, but that was one of the only goals they scored. And Norwich got their success from what? Counter-attacking. And what have Norwich not done this season? Counter-attacking.
Because you've got a lot deeper.
What have Brentford done this season? Counter-attacking.
Because they've got Tony's a lot quicker.
Why can't Norwich go? Norwich have quick players.
Yes, but
Jolis, Rashica, Sargent is borderline awful, but he's got pace.
Yeah, but the team, like I said, the team is dropping deeper. Without Norman there, you're playing centre midfield. You haven't got an actual DM yet. You haven't got any protection. Yeah. And to get the protection, the midfield has to drop and to stay on side.
Sorensen in CDM, let him play his actual
position.
He's
played centre back, hasn't he? So
he's played centre back at the minute. So I mean, his natural position when he joined was CDM. So I mean, I'd like to see him in there. And I think from what we've seen of him, other than that chance missed at Palace, I think he's looked quite good. I think he's one of the players that looked more assured on the ball. When like when Sorensen's got the ball, I'm not panicking. When Lungi's got the ball, I feel alright. But it's like, I don't know, mate. It's Norwich are in a state at the minute where it's like, do you get out of the hole or do you accept the fate? Do you dig it further and then do you then build yourself back up next season?
But the problem is that if you accept the fate now, the confidence in the lads will go, and that's being on the championship. It's not going to come back. They're going to think, I'm in the championship now. It's back. Once it goes, it's going to take a long time for it to come back. And
I mean, it would be nice even if we did get relegated, if Norwich could go down with a fight and at least this month.
Give some memories to the fans.
Literally, just put in 5 or 6 or 7 good performances in. Good performances, good games, get a couple more wins on the board and just go down like thinking that ended all right. But I'm one of the most optimistic fans you'll ever meet in your life, ever. But for me, at the moment, especially if nothing's done in January, it's done. Now it's done. Even with Rashica coming back, even if Norman comes back early,
and Krul,
I think it's done. And that's really sad. That's when you've got like even people like me who, like I said, I'm one of the most optimistic Norwich fans you'll ever meet, and I back the boys until the very end. But for me, I think it's done, and that is the sad truth. And even in January, this month, I can't see Norwich doing any business. To be honest, I mean, I saw that Carlson lad from left winger from Denmark. We're linked with him. He looks quite good, quite fast, and I think if Norwich can just get a group of fast players up front, and you sit when Rashica's back, stick him up front next to Pookie. I mean, just have a go. Why don't we just experiment? If Todd goes, spend that money on a striker, a quick, fast striker, like an Adam Armstrong, like an Ivan Toney. That's the type of striker Norwich need now. We need to play counter-attacking football, and I think that's the only chance we have. And for me, if Norwich make no signings in January, Webber's got to go. Because the recruitment this summer has not been good enough. Yes, we were all excited at the start. We thought, Josh Sargent, he looks interesting. Jolis, he looks interesting. To be honest, partly Farke's fault. I think Daniel Farke sort of ruined Jolis a little bit this season by not giving him a chance at the start. Rashica, Norman, 2 good bits of business. Brandon Williams as well, another.
Angus Gunn.
Well, Angus Gunn against Palace.
His penalty technique is interesting, comes to mind.
Interesting is the word that comes to mind, is it, David?
He's like Brad Jones. You've literally signed the English Brad Jones.
Well, before I get any more depressed, I think we're going to move on to Lincoln. To be honest, for me,
South Video depressed.
For me, Norwich, if there's any hope, it will be next season in the Championship, and I can't wait for Sunderland away if they get promoted. I'm excited.
No, we're playing them in the 15th. We're going to batter them.
You're going to batter them, are you? Right, go on, David. On to Lincoln, because I don't want to talk about Norwich anymore. It's too depressing. Hopefully, in a couple of months' time, we can make this video again, and Norwich have stayed up, and we're absolutely excellent, and Pookie's gone on to score 25 goals. But that won't happen.
No.
And we won't score a 50. We won't buy a £15 million striker, and we won't stay in the league, and we probably won't score any more goals. But we can have a go. David, on to Lincoln. What's going on at Lincoln at the minute?
Well,
it's not quite as bad as Norwich, but it's not
It
far
is
off.
bad. Last game we played, we lost 3-2. We were leading 2-0. Mike Clapton subs on attacking players. He goes attacking, and we lose. We didn't score any in the second half. We lose 3-2. And the problem with the team now is
You're scoring goals. We can't do that.
No, the problem is Josh Griffiths is going back, I think, to West Brom now because after being cup tied for a game, he's going back. We've lost McNair back to Norwich. We've lost Banner Luckman.
Oh yeah, we took him back, didn't we?
Yeah, and we've also with Joe Walsh. He is still injured. Adam Jackson is he's never fully fit. He's partly fit. You got TJ and Jomo who's young, and then up front we've got Noah because Scully only lasts about 70 minutes. He does because he's injured. Our squad is so injury. So many injuries we have in the squad, and now Mike Clapton thinks the key to our problems of not keeping goals out is to sign more attacking players. And our backup centre back Sean Rounton, the only one we've got, is going out on loan. He says that we're going to wait for Adam Jackson and Joe Walsh's fitness. Well, Joe Walsh he's only played 27 games in almost 3 years for Lincoln, and for a centre back that's appalling. And we're linked with so bang out. We've lost. We're trying to get a centre back for the Irish League. We've lost out to Sunderland. We've just lost another. We've signed a striker from Swansea, Morgan Whittaker, his name is. Looks very promising, but under Michael Appleton, any player looks promising.
Well, you've got to give him a chance, haven't you? January, I think, is a big month for you guys, isn't it? Because you've got to bring in players that can replace the players that are injured. I wish Norwich could do the same, but we can't.
You're not coached by Michael Appleton. Like, nobody wants to come. When you're coached by Michael Appleton, it's a death sentence. Nobody wants to stay there. We're loading players in, and the problem now is we've gone through 2 goalkeepers this season, and we've recalled Sam Long for some strange reason. For no reason, even though we had McNair. We've just been sending players. We've sent
McNair back to us.
Yeah, we've got to loan out Rout, and we've got 2 left backs, and only one of them play. We've swapped chop and change. We've got 1 right back, Regan Poole, who in 3 years has only managed 1 goal. He has, and he's made about 2 assists. He has, and he's so. And when we lost him to injury, we've got Teddy Bishop who plays anywhere. You've got Draper. We've got so many youngsters trying to fill the gaps, and it's just not working for Lincoln. And the problem is Michael Appleton's got. Like with Norwich, we're playing such a deep team that everyone's dropping deep, and our wingers are so out wide. So when we get the ball out wide, our left wing on the right, our left wing is nearly in the stands. Our striker just can't win the ball because Hopper's injured at the moment. So we're playing Draper, Dana Luckman, players like that up front. And the midfield is too deep, and we're just not getting any goals from now. Like we've got the 2nd worst scoring rate in the league behind Gillingham.
Yeah.
And after 3 years, he's been knocked out of 12 competitions. We've lost the FA Cup, we knocked out 3 times. The Papa John's Trophy 3 times, the league 3 times, and I don't understand. Something's got to go now. Like the board is saying, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with Lincoln." When in reality, is we're in debt. We're losing fans every game. We're down a gate. We don't hit 9,000 fans now. We used to hit 10,000 plus, and the money's running out now. They're just so in denial. The board is going because Clive Nate owns Lincoln. He does. And he doesn't turn off the Lincoln game. He never comes to the board meeting. He's never at Lincoln games. Scully doesn't turn to Lincoln games. And people like that thinking, acting like Lincoln's okay, just seeing like highlights. It's not. When you get out tactic by a South London team, suddenly alarm bells should be ringing now. When you can't win against Blackpool, when you can't beat teams below you, the alarm bells should be going now. Like he is atrocious. And people are saying he's not coming bright star. He's been in management 25 years, won nothing. He's achieved nothing, and he's not an upcoming star. He's a waste of money. Like I think all the money's been spent on him, and I want him to go. I want Sol Campbell in. That's the manager I want. He'll get Lewis Monsma, T. Jones Omer, the kick up the arse knees to actually defend. He'll get Bramall defending, and he'll get the team in the right direction.
So do you think your team just basically needs to kick up the arse a little bit?
Yeah, Michael Clapton just not. He's not the kind of guy. He's disciplining the guys the wrong way. He's saying in the media, "Oh, you're so shit, you are." Like, "Oh, why are you playing my formation?" And he's going, "Oh, they're playing my formation badly. They're not doing what I tell them to do. Oh, why are they playing? Why is that striker playing like that?" And say the confidence is low. The reason why the confidence is low is because he's just slating in the media every time. He's not taking any blame. And when the players aren't taking
it, doesn't seem like he's very in control, does it?
No.
It seems like he's lost the dressing room.
When I said to my dad, when he's youngsters, when you look at a leader, you go to Michael. Can you imagine a youngster who's 21, 22, goes to Michael and goes, "What do we now in this situation?" Michael goes to you, "I don't know. I've never been in this situation before in 25 years." And the career he's had, you're thinking, a young player looks at the manager and goes, "What do you want to do now, Gaffer?" And it should be.
Yeah.
"I want you to do this, that, and the other." And you've got to listen to me. I've done this before. Michael can go, "Well, I've done a bit in League One, I think it has, and a bit in the Championship, and I've done a bit of management here and there, and won nothing." When you've got nothing to back up your 25 years, it's hard to look at a guy and go, "I'm going to look up to that guy." And the problem is we can't loan players in now, because people just want to leave. When you look at the Blackpool game, everyone on loan just wanted to bugger off to loan.
What? Say if you do get relegated,
How
do you bounce back?
That's just gone now, because the financial situation we're in, we know.
So you think just similar situation? Well, actually no, because I think if Norwich get relegated, we'll come straight back up. But for Lincoln, if you get relegated, is it done?
Yeah, I think after
is the championship dream done?
I think we're going to go bankrupt again. I think the sad fact is we're going to lose Lincoln again. We're going to go out of the league again. I think in about 20, 25 years we'll come back. But I don't see us bouncing back for League Two. Like, we've really struggled with all the money we've had. We haven't put it together, and we just can't. There's no motivation in the team. Like, we're bringing in youngsters, but they're just, even though they're from the academy, there's no bite, there's no desire. Like Draper is playing left back. A lot of players we're loading, like Max Sanders. We've got players like that. Sam Long's the only promising youngster we've got, and Weather's nearly losing Lincoln. And with the investors soon be pulling funding on Lincoln. Once that funding starts to go, we're not going to find investors going to vote into a League Two team, managed by Michael Appleton, owned by a guy who's not even in the country. It's going to be hard. That's the problem. I can't see us bouncing back. I think if we do bounce back, it'd be a miracle. And I want financial takeover. I will take anyone. Just to get Lincoln in a stable situation. I want to live in a world where Lincoln, I can live in a world where Lincoln doesn't get relegated all the time.
So why don't you try and... Could Lincoln almost do what Norwich are doing? Yes, it's a bit boring at times, getting relegated from the Premier League and coming back up. But what you have to say, what Delia Smith has done is sustainable. It is sustainable.
But what Lincoln is doing isn't.
So, do you try and do the same thing between League 2 and League 1? You get relegated, you get your parachute payments, you come back up, you get relegated.
But it won't be a lot though.
It won't be a lot, but it'll be enough.
It won't be, because you got to take it, Chris. It's an investment group, so all the money goes towards stadium costs. It goes towards all the backroom staff it does. Time that money filters down to where Lincoln need it, because we've got to pay for kits as well. All new design for that. That money, that parachute payment, is not a lot to the end. And we didn't get a lot. Look how much money we got from coming second in a playoff final, and look where we are now. Do you think that money is going to be enough to bounce in League Two, where a lot of teams have been there for a lot longer and have that money built up? We haven't. We've got no funds whatsoever. Once this money goes, the money is gone until the investors pay again.
What would have happened if you got promoted to the Championship?
Oh, we would be a lot better, because the money from there, we had a lot more money. We wouldn't be on top table, but we'd be around the relegation zone. We'll be with a better squad. Like eventually, Michael Appleton would have been scouted and gone, which I'd be so happy with. And we would have kept Grant, we would have kept Brennan, we kept players like that who were scoring goals. We scored 102 goals in League One last season, and now it's the form we kept. Joe Walsh should have gone. He's just not fit. He didn't start the season. I think he played one pre-season game, played about 25 minutes of that. Didn't kick a ball in League One. He was injured until for 4 months.
Yeah.
And the players, Joe Walsh needs to retire because his time is just gone now.
Do you think he's done?
He's 29 and he's represented Wales in qualifiers in 2016 and 2018. The problem was he got injured again, and when he hasn't even played 300 games in any team, and that's a problem. And I saw it in Michael Appleton just signing players on the cheap and thinking, oh, they'll do it, just patch holes. They will. He's signing Bishop to patch up holes, which is all right. But we need another right back. We need get rid of Walsh, get rid of Jackson, get a bit of rubbish out, and get a quality centre back with that money.
I think Lincoln have got to really have a proper shake on it.
Oh, from the board, everyone, because the board needs to realise now that nothing's fine. Like they need to realise, oh shit, we're in a problem now. That money won't solve it. It needs to be the board. I think a load of board members need to go now. Chief Secretary needs to go.
I want the same to happen to our board, but I think David, what we should do is I think we should come back in a couple of weeks' time, maybe a month's time or so. Do this video again at the end of January. We'll see what's happened and we'll make our opinions there. But I think it's been a really interesting video today, and I think you can see the sort of situations that are going on at Lincoln and Norwich as well. And I guess in the next episode we'll have to perhaps find out what's going on. After at the end of January, I say we do this video again, part 2, okay? And we'll see where both clubs are at.
It could go a lot more. Because now I've got my vlogging camera, so from Monday onwards, we'll be trying to vlog daily now. We'll be.
Yeah, that'd be good.
We're going to try and do 3 podcasts a week, which is for Clive is going to be a real stretch, but we can give it a go.
I reckon we can do it.
So it has to be 8 videos a week if you help from us. But we'll see if we can do it.
But anyway, guys, we hope you've enjoyed today's video. We want to thank you all very much for watching, and you've been watching
from